Why do you think our population's testosterone is going down? Why do you think that our IQ as a whole is going down? We're getting dumber and dumber, and we're causing it ourselves. So, what exactly are microplastics? Essentially, microplastics are just that. They are microscopic plastic. We use plastic in everything, everyday things. Dental floss. Everybody knows the nonstick pans. Um, plastic Tupperware, Legos. We're exposed to plastic every day. Everything you touch is made of plastic nowadays. Um, and we need to get away from that. I Plastics are known to cause the decrease in your IQ. They are known to cause heart attacks. It's known to cause cancer. Known to cause birth defects, anger issues. Um, so we need to learn to live without plastic, which I know is very hard for a lot of people. But if you can minimize it, um, that's just one step closer to being living a healthier lifestyle. And a big one, the major one, because we all drink it, it's in water. Water is, life. And there is like 99% chance that you have microplastics in you right now. And there are literally thousands of forever chemicals, literally thousands of them that have been made and that are still in use. I think like not even a dozen of them are regulated.
PFAS, sometimes called forever chemicals, repel fire, water, oil, and stains and have been used since the 1940s in a wide variety of everyday products. You can find them in nonstick cookware, fast food wrappers, clothes, and cosmetics. But these man-made chemicals don't break down easily, and a number of them have been linked to serious health problems.
We drink every day. We take a shower every day. We wash our clothes every day. We, use water to make our food to cook with every day. But I wanted to show everybody this map right here. This map right here, and I'll post links to everything that I show you. But this one is from ewg.org, and it shows where water is in the United States that's been tested. Light blue is above proposed limits, and the dark blue is below, and then military bases, whatever. But if you click on them, they all show way above safe. If you want whatever safe is, you can go around, click on your water near you, and see how high your water is, and if you want to take precautions to it, then you can do something about it. At least be aware of how bad your water is. But this article from the earthisland.org, it was saying between 2016 and 2022, the agency worked off an advisory health limit of 70 parts per trillion. After the scientists show virtually no levels of exposure to drinking water is safe, the EPA set non-enforceable advisory health limits of 0.02 to 0.004 parts per trillion for PFOA and PFOS, respectively. That's just two kinds of forever chemicals. There are many more. But that's a very, very low number. And even those numbers right there show cognitive decline in people. That even that amount of plastic in your water causes reproductive harm, cancers, things like that. But I think they changed it again because there's no way that they can get that low. So the new legal limit for these forever chemicals is 4 ppt, 4 parts per trillion. And that still shows dangerous to drink. Public health advocates say the discrepancy is likely the result of industrial pressure on the EPA. So big money is telling the EPA what to do. We all know that these big companies dump tons of this crap in our water every day. Amazon, the amount of stuff that you order, all the packaging, all the food products that you consume, where's all that trash go? It leaches out into our environment. And I'm not a big tree hugger. I'm not a big hippy dippy kind of person, but just knowing the amount of plastic that goes into our atmosphere, and we are consuming it, involuntarily and voluntarily. This map right here, this is from USGS, the water data map. This one shows where water is at in the United States. It shows where, springs and just groundwater, surface water, and all that. But if you go to the purple one, the springs, and you click on active and inactive, it will show you where springs are at near you. I go to the spring personally for my family once a week, and I fill up gallons and gallons and gallons of water. Because I feel like the spring water tastes way better. Two, I'm saving a little bit of money not buying the plastic water bottles. I don't know if you've ever drinking water from a hot bottled water, and it tastes disgusting. You can taste the plastic in it. Those so terrible for you. My recommendation would be to get as many glass jars as possible and fill those up. You can use this map and find one that's relatively close to you. I have to click on the inactive map because the spring that's located near me doesn't show up on the active map, which is weird. But the one that's closest to me is under the inactive, and it's a great water. It's amazing. It tastes great. And I use it for everything. I use it for, washing clothes, doing dishes, cooking, drinking every day. I drink about a gallon of water every day for work, for the type of work that I do. I get really dehydrated, so I drink a lot. So you're going to need a way to store all this water. Try to stay away from plastic because that's the whole purpose of doing this. But at least if you use your own plastic jugs, you can minimize the exposure the water has to the plastic because it's not sitting on the back of a ship for 3 or 4 months out in the heat baking the plastic into the water. But you can go on this map and you can, like I said, see where yours is, if that's something that you're interested in doing. And this picture right here, this is from time.com. This shows what plastics are in. And you think plastics are in everything. Plastics are literally in everything, from microwave popcorn bags, sticky notes, wall paint, nail polish, shampoo, the carpet, your cell phone, obviously, dust in the air. You need a good filter for your house. You need to clean the air, and I would use a carbon filter for your dust in your air. Some of them are a little expensive, but they're worth it. They get this stuff out of the air. They clean the atmosphere around you. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in all day. There's nothing that we can do to get away from plastics 100%. But if you can minimize them, consuming them, it's one step closer to being healthier. It's one step closer to having a healthier lifestyle. We need to become more self-aware. Cutting boards. You put your food on a cutting board, and every time you chop into it, you're getting a little bit of plastic into your food. I would recommend a glass one or a wooden one. You can go to Walmart and buy one for $10. Start making these small, simple changes in your life to become healthier. These things are literally, quite literally killing us. And it's something that we need to discuss and talk about. But the water is the most important thing. The water is the number one resource that we all consume. It's crucial to everything that you do in life. There have been studies shown that there are certain filters that get rid of most of the plastics, not all. There's relatively nothing you can do about getting all of them away. So with not being able to afford a reverse osmosis system in your house, not being able to get, these really high end filters, what you can do is you can either buy an activated charcoal filter or you can make one. The only difference between activated charcoal and regular charcoal is the amount of how high a temperature that they were produced. Activated charcoal was produced at a lot higher temperature, and it has to do with the structure of the carbon when it's burnt. It has more surface area for the plastics to cling onto the carbon. It's smaller pores, things like that. But a charcoal filter works just the same, just a little bit less efficiency, but it's easier for normal people to produce. You don't have to go out and buy a bunch of charcoal every week. You don't have to buy the really expensive filters. You can, it's more convenient, but like I said, if you want to, if you're trying to save money, you can produce your own, and just replace, make your own charcoal. And it's a fun experiment. It's just fun to do. It's a little time consuming, but it's worth it if you're trying to save money, if you're trying to become healthier. Um, a lot of things in life, to become healthier, you have to be more involved with it. And I think that's a big problem in today's society. Why we're so why we're so unhealthy is we're not willing to do anything to become healthier, and that's why our health is so poor in this country. Taking these small steps in our life will make us healthier. You're doing more work, you're actively involved, you know what's going on. And an activated charcoal filter is a very good idea for your water if you can do it. This filter I found online. I haven't bought it yet, and I don't know, I haven't experienced it. But the reviews look really good. I looked up a lot of different things, and this seems to be the best one. It's called a clearly filtered filter, I guess. I have no relation to them. I have no affiliation at all. This one seems to be the best one that actually gets most of the microplastics out. It is really expensive. The one that you hook up under your sink is like $500, so it's pretty expensive. And even the filter with the picture one that you pour the water into isn't that bad, but the filters that go along with it make it extremely expensive. I don't know how long they last, but you can make that yourself. The above ground one, the picture one, you can make one of those. You can make your own activated charcoal filter just by producing the charcoal. That you don't have to spend a boatload of money to do this. So with everything in mind, with what I just said with microplastics, we need to become more self-aware with what we are consuming. Water, like I said, is the number one most important thing in our life. And if you can take a few small steps into getting this stuff out of your body the best you can, you'll become healthier. You'll become smarter. You'll become more self-aware of what you're, consuming. And it's not just the water too. Things like the packaging that your food comes in, the plastics, the styrofoam. We need to get away from that stuff. We need to get it as far from our body as possible, to become healthier. Start producing things. Start collecting rainwater. Start producing your own food. Start producing, your own things. Get away from the plastics. Get away from the containers, because it only makes you healthier. You save money by not buying all this stuff, for one, but just getting this crap out of our body will make us a lot safer, a lot healthier, live longer. It seems like every decade, the last decade stuff is, oh no, that was a terrible thing. Like Roundup. Roundup is still used, and it has forever chemicals in it. It has poison in it, and yet people are still spraying it on their food. It just makes no sense to me. But we're so dumbed down as a population. We know it's bad for us. Like, we as Americans, as people in the world, we know this stuff is terrible for us. but we still use it every day. It makes no sense. Like plastic mulch, rubber mulch. Like I know people that put rubber mulch in their garden. It's terrible for us. Anyway, let's get away from plastic. Just something to think about. Y'all have an amazing day.